Hello and welcome to Train Sim World 2. Today we are on the main Spessart Bahn and we're going to be driving from the driving trailer end of this. It's Deutsche Bahn. It's got a class 146 loco on the back. Is it a 146? Yeah, it's a 146. And we are here at Gemunden, Maine. We're on a regional express service, which means, as you would imagine, we're not stopping at many places. Right, let's get on. We'll get those blinds down so that, yeah, there we go. No messing about on this one, it's literally straight in. And, right, we'll unlock. Are the doors all open? Well, they're unlocked anyway, aren't they? That's fine. Right, okie dokie. Key on. And reverse it to forward. We need to set our headlights. It doesn't tell you to do this, but luckily I've played the tutorial. You see, I know what's happening. Make sure the pantograph's up and the MCB, I think it's already done anyway. Yes, it is. Oh, hello. So that's essentially what we've got on the back of our train, and we're a 5-coach service. Headlights are normal. Cab lights shouldn't be on. There we go, cab lights are not on. And yeah, okie dokie. Now I don't really know much about, in terms of the main Spessart Bahn. I did literally just buy this. Well, I bought it in the Dovetail Games sale, actually, if I'm being completely honest. But I did kind of buy this just because you get the DT and the loco for services on your other routes, like your Cologne, your Munich. That one, yeah. Right, okay, that's to, right, get the door shut. Doors all shut, jolly good. Now I did, to be honest with you, I bought this game, as I said, this route add-on, because these control cars, or these DoppelStockwagens, are seen in Berlin. You know, I've ridden on these. I think they're a nice train to travel on. They really are. I bought this purely because of that. There are a few subtle differences. I'm assuming that maybe the Berlin spec is a little bit different, because it doesn't have the do for the door closing on the Berlin spec ones. Could be wrong. I don't seem to remember it. Whoops. Did not mean to do that. There we go. So yeah, a little bit of history, as per Wikipedia. The main Spessart Railway is a 110-kilometre long railway that serves the Bavarian province of Lower Franconia, in south-central Germany. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. It's quite good because it's unlike some of our other, you know, the high-speed German things. It's quite a nice windy route. You know, you're in vast hills, mountainsides. It's very picturesque compared to some of the other German routes, which are obviously all about speed. You've got a variety of traction on it. I mean, you can drive... What's this coming towards us? This is a 146 with DoppelStockwagens. Hello. Only a 4-car, that one. But yeah, you've got your freight services if you prefer your freight side of things. I mean, I always prefer passenger, but you know, it's just that little bit. Plus, you get 2 locos with it. You've got the 185 and the 146, which, to be honest with you, from a driving perspective, are identical. I do believe that they're part of the Bombardier Trax family. Trax, spelled Traxx. So in terms of actual driving, the locos are incredibly similar. There's just a couple of odd little bits. Obviously, the 146 is designed to work with the passenger cars. And yeah, I've played through the tutorial. The tutorial for the 146, that thing, doesn't actually work for me. I don't know if I'm the only one that's experienced this bug. But yeah, you follow the tutorial, and you know, you follow it to the hilt, and then the loco will not take power because the pantograph's not raised. But you raise the pantograph in the tutorial, but then, like many tutorials, things are blanked out so you can't do it wrong. you can't kind of retrace your steps and get the pantograph raised. I don't know what's going on there, but that's essentially why we're not in the loco today, and we're in the DT. I'm going to try and get it working, hopefully. I mean, I'm going to report it to Dovetail Games as, look guys, this is not working as it should. And hopefully they'll be able to come back and say, oh yes, that's a thing, we're going to fix that. And then we'll have some loco action next time. I mean, as for this, it's nice and quiet. Nice and quiet, rather than being sat down at the loco end. There's a nice mist over the valley today. Very nice indeed. It's very picturesque. I do liken it to our West Coast main line in England. When particularly, well, I mean it's hardly like coming out of Euston, is it? But no, when you get north of Lancaster. Do you know what? I'd even go as far as to say north of Oxenholme. I mean, we don't have quite so many pine trees. There's a lot more open moors, but this kind of on the side of the valley next to a motorway. I mean, we don't go past houses on the west coast. Well, not many anyway. But here we go, 185 coming the other way. Double 185. Oh, hang on. Too busy looking at the 185 and you're now speeding. Good lord. There we go. So this is a limited stop service. If we'll pause that and see the schedule. So we've left Gemunden and we're stopping at Lohr and Heigenbrücken and Aschaffenburg. And I think Aschaffenburg is where we stop. So from where we are now, it's roughly half an hour journey time. So about 35 minutes from one to the other. I don't know if that's one end of the route to the other. Because like I said, I don't really know much about this route. But yeah. I did actually, I know I said I've not driven this route. I've driven as far as Lohr Bahnhof because I was doing this scenario. And then I got distracted like, oh, I wonder what the seat's like in first class on this. So I got up from the driving seat and just wandered through the train. And before I knew it, we went sailing through Lohr Bahnhof. Yeah, we had a failure to call. Dreadful, really. Unprofessionalism at its finest. I imagine if you were a passenger on this train and you see the driver like just strolling past as you're hurtling through the German countryside, I imagine it's a worrying thing. You're like, oh, good God, what's the driver doing? No, well, he's just nipped to have a seat in first class. Relax. I'm not going to lie, I would kind of like it if the sounds were a little bit better. It's very quiet. I mean, you don't really get a sensation of speed so much as you do in other traction. Like when you're on the ICEs, you're flying along and you get the real sensation of speed. The sound doesn't seem to change on the DTs. There's no wind buffeting the front of the train. It's a shame because you kind of lose that a little bit. I mean, I know that the main Spessart Bahn is a port over from, not Transport Fever, that's a different game. From Train Sim World 1. Oh, hang on. Right, get braking. There we go. Oh, it can brake fairly sharpish. Well, that's good, because normally locos and coaches tend to take forever to stop, don't they? Right, get a bit of braking action in now. It's definitely a lot more picturesque than coming over the viaduct into Dewsbury, isn't it? Oh, hello. Very nice. So this is Lohr Bahnhof. I'm really impressed with how quickly this thing stops. I don't know if, like I say, if this is a real hang on a second, you're coming in a bit fast there. That'll do. Oh, no, it's done this to me. Right, hang on a second, get that off in the settings. I don't know why, but it seems to assume every time. It doesn't save your settings. There we go, get rid of those coloured squares on the tracks. I don't mind the objective marker, because otherwise I wouldn't know where I was stopping. But I don't like the colour, you know, so you can see what carriage is meant to go where. Go on, stop, stop, stop. That'll do. Right, okie dokie, to business. Turn to the right. We could use this menu here, but, you know, keep it as real as possible. Oh, look, there's people getting on. Or are they getting off? Now, as always, let's go for a wander and see if there's any hidden things that we can... I don't think there's anything down there, is there? I had a particular amount of fun. Oh, hang on, what's this? Can we do anything with you? Nope. Yeah, I did have a particular amount of fun on the Isle of Wight, finding the ice creams and putting the maps up. Oh, good, you've just walked through that post. Can we do anything with you? Nope. Right. Well, we're gonna have to go back to the loco. Not the loco. That's the other end. The DT driving trailer. There might have been something down those stairs. I don't know, but yeah, quick, quick, quick. Gonna be late at this rate. Oh, hang on. Wait until. Right. Plenty of time. Are you? You're operational. How do we? Very nice. It's called the second man seat. You know, is there a purpose to sitting here? You can't really see out the window, can you? Would be nicer if the second man seat was, you know, next to the driver. But I guess that's why on like a lot of modern traction, this is why you're sat in the middle on this train. Right, to business. Right, into the middle and shut the doors. Shut the doors. Thank you. Oh, hang on, there's something fast coming through here. And yeah, didn't have cars on. Well, that's nice because it shows that there's a variety of freight wagons. Obviously, the Doppelstock car, unlike some of our previous trains that we've been on, doesn't seem to have the RFB feature. I mean, we've got a kind of blanked out lever here, as in this is where the lever will be. Now, I think with the freight loco, the 185, you do have an RFB, which if you're not sure what the RFB is, it's German for AFB. You'd never have seen that one coming, would you? But yes, it's for, it's basically cruise control, just to, you know, without wanting to dumb it down too much. It's a form of cruise control. We'll just accelerate to 100. There we go. Just coast a little bit. We could probably have gone up to 110, to be honest. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? So this is a regional express. I mean, I thought the regional express was probably the one to do, because we get to see, hopefully, the full route. I imagine you get access to some freight yards as well, given you've got, you know, freight trains to drive. But yeah, we get to see the full route fairly quickly. Well, who doesn't love a good express service? And that, folks, is going to be the thumbnail for the video. What a picturesque screenshot. Unless, of course, further down we do find something else that takes our fancy. It's quite nice to get on, you know, a slower route that is a bit more, you know, it's a bit more interesting, isn't it, than just bombing along at thousands of kilometres an hour. there is a bit more to, a bit more to do. The speeds up and down. It feels more like you're driving this train than the ICEs. But of course, without you don't. I mean, I personally. Whoa, hang on. How are we speeding? We're going uphill. Ah, yes. Goodness only knows there. Are we going up to 120? Anytime soon. Go on. There we go. Pop you up there. Yeah. What was I saying? It's a main line still, because I do like a good main line. I mean, I still want them to release a Transpennine route from Leeds to Manchester. Hang on, what are you on about there? There's, look on the store, you'll see the Transpennine route. Yeah, well, it's not modern day. It should be a modern day route, in my opinion. We should have a Class 185, we should have, maybe a 142. Who doesn't love a good 142 to do the stopping services? I mean, they actually only need to do 185 now, because obviously, at this point in time, Transpennine Express are running the stopping services between Leeds and Manchester. Leeds and Huddersfield, and Huddersfield and Manchester. So they could actually get away with doing a Leeds to Manchester route and only putting a 185 on it. It's within possibility. So yeah, for me, a good main line with twists and turns and, faster, slower, plenty to see, plenty to do. That is my ideal route for train sim. I'm assuming this is some sort of... we're bouncing around a bit, aren't we? This is another station here. Don't know what it's called. I missed all the signs. It's obviously not an important station, otherwise we'd have been stopping there, wouldn't we? You've got the river. I'm assuming, is that a river? It looks like a river. This is a, V-shaped valley, isn't it? That's a, geography term. Yeah, the river down in the valley there on the left-hand side, winding its way along. I'm assuming that for the length of the route, we do follow the river. I mean, we are climbing. We're uphill all the time at the minute. Oh, hang on, pay attention. You're going down to 100, sorry. No, not going down to 1.6. That would be very slow indeed. In 1.6 kilometres, which is now 1.3 by the time you finish your waffling, is, 100. So we'll bear that in mind. We'll just coast for now. We don't need to coast. Keep it fast. Your passengers want to get there. It's probably not the ideal, Deutsche Bahn would probably rather that I, kind of coasted, didn't use any braking. But the passengers want to get there, so we're going to keep accelerating, and now we'll coast a little bit and then whack some brakes on. Some would argue there that passenger comfort is compromised a little bit. Well, do you know what? I asked them, and they said, we want to, we'd rather get there fast, so what if we're thrown all over the show? I mean, to my knowledge on Deutsche Bahn, you don't actually get free catering in first class. So it's not like they're going to end up with it all down the fronts. Oh, back up. Back up to, is that 110? That's about 110, isn't it? Ooh, 5 car. Do we reckon that's probably a regional express going in the other direction? I don't get how I keep speeding. I'm not applying a drastic amount of throttle, and we are going uphill, so I don't get quite how we're whoa, straight off. Oh, another station here. Oh, that's an interesting horn, isn't it? Bit loud. I'd like to think that they wouldn't be that loud in the cab. And then they've used the same sounds for the outside. A lot of the, you see, maybe it's because it's a Train Sim 1 port, but, not Train Sim 1, Train Sim World port, oh, hang on. No, you're losing focus now. You're going too fast. Stop waffling and drive the train. Yeah, maybe because it's a Train Sim World 1 port. It's part of the Legacy Collection, etc., etc. Maybe the horns... I can't remember. Did they used to have the same horn inside and out? I think they did, Whereas the Train Sim World 2 stuff, like the München Augsburg add-on, you can tell there's a bit more effort put in, the sounds are a lot better. I know as well the Great Western Express, if you have that for Train Sim World 1, and you now have Train Sim World 2, they have edited some of the sounds, and it does sound a lot better. The 166 in particular does sound a lot better now for Train Sim World 2. It's a free update, and I didn't buy it for Train Sim World 2, I had it as part of the Legacy thing that they keep banging on about. And yeah, the sounds are better. I don't know if they've done it for Train Sim World 1 because I've not played it in yonks. But yeah, God, we're getting thrown all over the place here, aren't we? Little bit of breakage. Just a little bit. That'll do. I don't know if this is a feature on the actual... Oh, hang on, 90. That's a bit saucy, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know if it's a feature of this train in particular, but if you look, so we're accelerating on notch 4 now. If we knock that down to throttle off, there we go, and we brake, you'll see on the speedo in the bottom right hand corner that the little 1 has a red box around it. Yeah, so if it's red box, it means you can't accelerate. Then when you set that to 0, the box stays, and if you accelerate, nothing happens. So you have to kind of put the throttle to 0, just very conscious not to speed. So yeah, you have to put the throttle to 0, like that to off, put it to minimum, back to 0, and back to off, and then it'll go white again, and then you can accelerate. I don't know if the actual trains do that. It seems like a bit of an odd little feature. Maybe they do, and it's a safety feature of some sort, so you can't just, go whizzing off. Or maybe it's a bug, and if it is a bug, sort it out, Dovetail Games. Now this is the exact sort of scenario where we go down to 70 kilometers an hour, and then in exactly like 10 meters it'll put you down to 40 kilometers an hour. Although regardless, we do need to... Oh no, pleasantly surprised. See, this stop is definitely a lot more professional than the last stop, although you're braking a bit quickly there. Little bit of coasting. Now what happens here? Platform 2 appears to be on both sides. Oh, hang on. No, now you're going past it. That'll do. Throwing the anchor out at the last minute, so we need to turn that to unlock all doors. So then the doors are unlocked on both sides. A little bit of a step there from on the left hand side. Where are we? Let's get the other camera. There's a bit of a step. that is probably... Oh, we can fly through the train. That's exciting, isn't it? Yeah, that's probably an operating incident you've just witnessed right there. But, I mean, nobody's about to see it, so yeah, we're just going to pretend nobody's got out, nobody's fallen. I think one person kind of did, but they used the common sense and stepped. There we go. Yeah, of course they did. I don't know how it works with these stations. I mean, obviously in the UK, to my knowledge, if you take away the underground as a factor, because I know that some underground lines have platforms on both sides of the train, I don't think we have. And if you know otherwise, please do, of course, comment and let me know. But I don't think that we have any train lines where you would unlock the doors on both sides. I mean, I know we certainly don't at the company I work for, and I wonder how that would work with dispatch. Oh, hang on, what's happening here? There we go. Right, to business. Yeah, I don't know how the dispatch would work if you were opening the doors on both sides. Because if it's driver-only operation, the driver can't be expected to look at both cameras at the same time. And obviously if it's guard dispatch, the guard can't be on both sides at once. Well, unless you have two guards. But that's just a bit odd, isn't it? So no, I don't know how it works in terms of a platform on both sides. It's a bit light in this tunnel. I'm not going to lie. It's a bit like, you know, considering how dark it is now in our train. Maybe the headlights. Yeah. Can we look outside? Oh, hang on. Where have we gone? There we go. We're going to put it down to the headlights. But it does. Yeah. It just you kind of expect it to be a little bit darker. Maybe I'm talking rubbish, but yeah, I was hoping for it to be darker. Nice 70 kilometres an hour through the tunnel here. We're obviously going downhill now, so are we downhill all the way to Aschaffenburg HBF? Now that's the problem with Train Sim World 2, as opposed to Train Sim 2020. Is that obviously we used to have that lovely bar along the bottom and you could see what hills were coming up. Whereas this, you don't have that luxury. You just literally get this little chap in the bottom right hand corner. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, you're going downhill now. We probably don't need full throttle. We could probably do without that. But we're getting up to speed nice and quickly. And we'll just coast up to 120. I have noticed as well, if you look, all the locos seem to be at the Gemunden end of things. All the locos, I mean, we're obviously at the driving trailer end, and all the locos that have come the other way are leading. There's been no, trailer carriages leading, coming the other way. Maybe they keep the locos at the same end, so that first class is always at the same end. I don't know if that's a feature. Or if that's just whoever's made the scenario is just like, oh yeah, we'll just whap them all at the same end. That's easy enough, rather than mixing it up. It is very much a case of brake on, brake off. And yes, we are speeding. Oh, there we go. Freight loco coming up. Hello. Struggling up the hill with his tankers. He doesn't look to be going that fast at all, really, does he? Oh, with a loco on the back as well for a bit of added shove. I mean, it is a 1.9% hill, for a freight loco, particularly if you get stuck at the bottom. That's a big hill, isn't it, if you're carrying a lot of freight? Actually, I guess any hill's a big hill if you're carrying a lot of freight, isn't it? I mean, the good thing for us on this route is that we've just had green signals the whole way, haven't we? You know, we've had no kind of... And I say this now, we could come whizzing round the corner and find ourselves at a yellow. Ooh, is this a station we're not stopping at? It looks like it might be. There we go, you see, loco at the front on that. Oh, only a diddy little 3-car. Loco on its own there. Sat not doing anything. Bit of freight wagons in the sidings there. It's a risky place to leave a load of cars just on a freight wagon in some sidings. They'd definitely all be gone over in England, wouldn't they? Ooh, speed limit increase. Oh, another one there. Shall we assume that that's the express that's sat behind that little 3-car stopper? That driver's like, oh, for crying out loud. Caught the stopper again. And I know it's 130 kilometres an hour and we're sat coasting at 127, and you could argue, yeah, you should really be doing 130 there, but it seems to be holding itself at 127 on this gradient of hill. You know, not accelerating, not braking, speeding up a little bit, but yeah, it means that I can just so that I'm not constantly whizzing levers round left, right, and centre. We'll just hold it at that. Although you do need to kind of consider just putting notch 1 on for a little bit, just to take it down. We don't want to be speeding after all, do we? There we go. Ooh, another station. Platform on either side and a through line, just like Dewsbury. Albeit probably a bit more picturesque than Dewsbury. Ooh, we're going to get some 100-mile-an-hour action in a kilometre. Right, we'll take you down to about notch 4. Hell, this is a frequent service, isn't it? Coming the other way, there's 3 passenger services now. Come on, let's get up to 100. Just to say we've done it, because I don't think we've been up to 100 yet, have we? A little bit further. We've got 2.3 kilometres to do it in. I reckon we can easily do it. Of course you can. But we need to obviously be very mindful that Aschaffenburg is just further down the line. There we go. 160 kilometres an hour. 100 miles an hour. Very nice indeed. I don't believe we'll be doing any more accelerating now, given that Aschaffenburg is 3 kilometres away. And obviously the speed limit's dropping. I imagine that we'll just be slowly braking now for a nice smooth stop. Yeah, you see, it does this to you. You're like, oh yeah, by the way, throw the anchor out the window, because in, a kilometre, you're going down to 110 kilometres an hour. And you're like, yeah, thanks for that. Appreciate it. Oh, is this is a depot on the right-hand side then, obviously. No, you're going nice and fast. I'd ease off on the power a little bit there, mate, because there's a big queue just ahead of you. Yeah, you see, done it again. In half a kilometre, you're going down to 60. Yeah, cheers for that, guys. A little bit more notice. That's the problem with Train Sim World. And a problem why, you don't have that nice bar at the bottom. Because you could see that, and you could see, oh yeah, well, although it goes to 100, shortly after that it goes to 15, you know, so I'm going to slow down. Same again, look, 40 kilometres an hour. And where you could get a nice smooth stop, you're now having to, like, throw everything in. You get what I mean. Yeah, it just seems that Train Sim World has taken a step backwards from Train Sim 2020 in that sense. I mean, I don't imagine that they're going to change it, because obviously it would take a massive, massive update to do that. But yeah, it would kind of make for a bit, oh, what on earth's going on over there? Some issues with the, yeah, goodness only knows. Well, that's going to bring us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I apologise I couldn't be a little bit more informative in my waffle, because I know very little about this line, as is most of the German stuff. I know very little about this traction, and yeah, so it was kind of just drive a train and try and fill the void of silence with some general waffle. I hope you enjoyed it all the same. You can pick this route up for Train Sim World 2 for £24.99 on the Steam store. Alternatively, it does crop up in the sale, so you know, keep an eye out. It will be on sale. Yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. And yeah, subscribe so that you never miss out on any more Train Sim World action. Like the video, because it'll help me. And yeah, I'm on Discord as well. There's a link in the description, head over there and join in with the general chatter. Other than that, until next time, catch you later, see you later. See, that didn't work, did it? Catch you next time, cheerio. That's what you meant to say. Yeah, I don't know. Right, yes, goodbye. Goodbye for now.